Hi there, my name is Greg Smith, Director of the Eastern Oregon University Small Business Development Center. Did you know the Small Business Development Center is always trying to connect employers with employees? And so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be interviewing an employer who's looking to hire. They're going to talk to us about what they're looking for in an employee and what type of jobs they have available. Miss Gina Perkins, our Assistant Director, will be leading that interview. And who knows? Maybe there's a job out there that's going to be perfect for you. Gina, take it away.
All right. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today to talk about the positions that are available or will be coming available at Wallowa Lake Lodge. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. My name is Madeline Marin-Fouché, and I'm the General Manager here at Wallowa Lake Lodge.
Wonderful. Well, there are few places that are more beautiful than Wallowa County, and certainly Wallowa Lake Lodge is an icon there within the county. So could you take a minute and just give us a little bit of background about the lodge and about the changes that have taken place and just the organization in general?
Sure. Yeah, the lodge has a really fascinating history because it's almost 100 years old. We'll have our centennial celebration in 2023. And from the outside, it doesn't really look like it's changed much in those 100 years. But on the inside, things have changed over time. And we've had different owners, of course, over that 100-year period. And most recently, the lodge was bought by a shareholder group, which is comprised of community members and shareholders really throughout the Northwest and honestly the country, who bought the lodge in 2015 when the former owners, the manager of the lodge for about 30 years, his name was Steve Larson. He died unexpectedly in 2015, and his business partner decided to list the lodge for sale, I believe at auction. And people were very concerned because there was a lot of interest from major hotel groups, interest in creating condominiums in this space and possibly tearing down the lodge. So the community rallied together and people raised money to put a down payment to keep the building from going to sale. And then they were able to purchase the property. And then in this last year, we were able to complete a conservation easement with the Nez Perce tribe as well, to further cement the lodge and the land surrounding it in this area. So currently we're owned by a group of a little more than 100 shareholders, and we have a board of directors, and then I manage the business along with my operations manager. And then we have the 3 of us that are year round, along with our maintenance director. And then we hire about 30 seasonal staff for the summer season.
Fabulous. So what positions either are currently available or will be coming available?
Yeah, so we're hiring now for summer 2021, and we're opening the lodge on May 28th. And we are looking for housekeepers, we are looking for front desk people, and we are looking for servers for our restaurant and bar, which will be really focused outside this year. We are completing, well, we haven't completed it yet. We are beginning an ambitious deck expansion project. So we'll have a big, beautiful deck if all goes well by the start of this season. And we are looking for energetic, friendly people who are ready to serve outside, which to me sounds pretty great.
Okay, wonderful. So what qualities, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but what qualities would a successful candidate have within your organization, or successful employee have?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. So it is really important to us to try to employ locally as much as possible. For me, especially, it's really vital that we're trying to create jobs within our local community and the Northeast Oregon region in general as much as we can. So hopefully it's somebody that lives in the area and understands some of the history and the interest of this area. But the main things that I look for with employees are friendliness and adaptability. And I like to say a willingness to make it happen.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What might disqualify someone from being considered an applicant? What would make you maybe say, this may not be a good.
I think somebody that maybe wasn't particularly collaborative and not interested in working as a team, because we always say once we open the doors here, we go really hard all season, and then we shut the doors and everybody kind of goes. So everybody has to be really collaborative and friendly and pleasant to their coworkers, because we all depend on each other big time throughout the summer.
Sure. Okay. What would be your company's onboarding process? What could a candidate expect once they were hired?
Pretty simple around here. Honestly, we have an application process. We would want to call on references. And if applicants have a resume, that's always a big plus. I love to see those. We would do an interview with the executive staff. And then if an employee was selected, we would have them do some training before we got going for the summer. Training typically 1 week, not terribly extensive.
Sure. Okay. So I know you mentioned that you had different types of positions. So this next question might be a little bit difficult to ask, but in general, what would a typical average day look like? Although, is there an average day?
Oh, there's no such thing as an average day around here. But I would say the summary of every day is focusing to meet our guests' needs and making a really special experience for them, whether that's in housekeeping or as a server at the front desk. That's one thing we all have in common. And one of my friendliest and most ambassadorial employees is my head housekeeper, who makes everybody feel so welcome. And she's just warm and delightful. And people always comment about her, like, oh, I saw her and she was so nice to me. And I'm like, great, that's what we should be doing every day. So if you were working on a front desk shift, for instance, day shift, your day would start at 7 and it would go till 3. You would be helping with the coffee bar that we put out in the morning. You would be helping guests with questions about their day, if they want to go on hiking trails, where's a good place to eat dinner, all of that rolled into one. And then you would be helping a lot of guests check out. We check out at 11, and that's always a big crunch. And then things would slow down in the afternoon, but we would open up our restaurant then for lunch, because we're making some changes to our dining room this year. And then you just be answering phones, dealing with any customer inquiries as they come up, and acting as, what did somebody say? Director of first impressions for the lodge, which I love that term.
That's a great term. That is a great term. So what would you feel would be a good example maybe of an employee success story or a success story, of the lodge? In other words, maybe just some special little anecdote maybe that you'd like to share.
So I have been general manager here for a little over a year. And the staff that we had last year worked really, really hard. We had a skeleton crew because of COVID, and that's what we were able to pull off. And everybody had to pull their weight and then some. And so people worked really hard. And I was nervous that at the end of the season, some people might be burnt out and might not want to come back. But I did just call all of our former employees from last year and ask, are you going to come back and work with us again? I really hope so. And it was a resounding yes. We have almost everybody coming back, which I think is a testament to the work culture that we're creating here and the dedication of our team. So I'm really proud of that.
That's great. What do you think employees enjoy most about working at Wallowa Lake Lodge, and what's your favorite part?
Well, like you said earlier, you can't beat the natural beauty here. And it's just breathtaking. The lodge stays really busy through the summer, but during the afternoon, we have this kind of quiet period. I always say we're the eye of the storm because all around us during the middle of the day, there's people hiking and people at the marina and all kinds of stuff going on. But you can still come here and have a quiet moment, say at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, sit on the deck and enjoy the view looking out at the lawn. So I think our employees love providing a really great guest experience, but also being part of this very old, venerable institution in such a beautiful, sacred place, you know, with all of the history here of the Nez Perce people, of the settlers. Like, you can feel it. And I think people love to be part of that.
Absolutely. So let's say if this piques someone's interest, which I hope that it does, how do they apply? And what application materials would you like to receive from them initially?
Yeah, wonderful. The best way to apply right now, while we're still closed with kind of limited office hours in the winter season, would be to send me an email. And my email is Madeline, MADELINE at wallowalakelodge.com. If you are in the area and would like to stop by, that's always great. We're here Mondays and Tuesdays for sure. And then otherwise you could send me an email and say, I'd like to come by, and I would make sure to be here. But that will get the ball rolling and I can send an application. And when someone emails me, if they can include a resume, if they have one, that is always a plus.
Okay, wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to add that we haven't touched on?
Ooh, just that we're really excited to be a part of this program, and thank you for having us. And I welcome any interest in the lodge, whether you'd like to work here this summer, or if you have questions, or if you want to know what we're up to. Like, any interest to me is always good. And we're just really working to be more involved in our community and more accessible to a greater number of people. So if you're up for that and you want to join us, we would love to have you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we will keep in touch on this. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you so much.